of dollars, or can we, hop, skip, and jump that as well?
We have an alternative paradigm, Rishabh. See, the strength of India in this case goes on to be the type of technologies it has developed for itself in order to counter certain things like terrorism. I just want to give you one example, that is of Cartosat-3. Now, Cartosat-3 has a very high VHRR, that is very high resolution radiometer. It can go on to even monitor just 30 centimeters elevation away from the land. Now, you require to give this type of technology to the African countries, which will require a knowledge mapping of their entire of the continent. Without a knowledge mapping, there is no way that you can go on to allow Africa to develop at all. African countries require a lot of volcanic spots all along the East African rift valley to be known as well. Now, the sensing of this temperature goes on to become a big market for Ethiopia, for Somalia, for Djibouti, and all of these countries. That's one perspective. The second perspective in this case is when you are trying to map the remote sensing photograph of it, the quality of the photograph that we are going to produce, that is unmatched anywhere in the whole of the world. Not even NASA can go to match it. The third component associated with it is the way that we're going to be talking about. We have a program called the Radio Garden. In a similar manner, you are going to have a program sooner or later, and you have to have it so that you can go on to assist countries which want to plan for their agriculture, who want to plan the establishment of industrial units in hitherto those areas where a good amount of communication and other things required to be developed. Now, this can go on to be an aid for the whole of Africa. It can go on to be tremendous aid for Arabian countries, which requires such type
of so let's list it out. Ksiddhartha, list it out. I mean, what are the areas of opportunities, commercial and otherwise, that you see? Let's list it out. You mentioned, of course, cartographic in Africa, especially. The SpaceX is now trying to launch a satellite net to provide local internet. That's going to be a game changer. What are the areas of opportunity?
See, one area is going to be the knowledge mapping. The second area is going to be the DTM and the DEM of the whole of the world, digital terrain modeling, digital elevation modeling as well. The third is going to be the boundary fixation of most of these countries and going to be giving them a data. The fourth is the offshoots of the space program. Some of these things like carbon composites, which you can go to use it for the purpose of supplying it to all the medical equipments. For example, the polio patients going to be using it. You're going to be sometimes using in your frame as well. The stent and other things that is in the heart that is going to be using it.
Correct.
That's the third one. The fourth one is going to be associated with the data accumulation, connectivity in this case, and then redistribution of this data for the purpose of planning and execution.
Okay.
The fifth is going to be about pollution control. And that is how is it that you can go to help the countries with the CCD, child coupled device. You can help them predict their climatic condition. You can help them know how is it that
whether in that and as Sharat Kohli has also mentioned, you have ancillaries. Maybe a decade from now, you'll have the concept of space tourism. You will have a global, maybe internet base. India is already working on a replacement for the GPS system. That becomes a commercial application. Dr. Sharat Kohli, point out 3 or 4 opportunities. Then before I wind up, I want to discuss threats. The Russians are better at it. So let's get them to train. These kind of things happen, which we have to now question openly. And maybe we can find those answers. Ksiddhartha, quickly, sir, your list of the potential threats we need to worry about.
See, there are 2 of these threats. The first is our inability to access the demands that going to exist in different parts of the country, different parts of the world. That's in Africa, in Mozambique, Mali, Mauritania, maybe in Switzerland, in other places. That's going to be number one. And second biggest threat is the bureaucratization of how is it that we go to market that part. Maybe that you are saying in a veiled form, but then bureaucracy is going to be the biggest problem in the whole of the country because they are the ones who do
so we have to